Hey, sister. I'm so glad you're here. But I have a question for you. Who told you that you needed to do it all? And who told you that being a good leader meant never resting, never breaking, and never needing help? You see, somewhere along the line, we kind of traded grace for grit and started wearing like burnout like it was a badge of honor. But see, today, we're going to call out that lie. Because being a woman of faith and leadership should never mean dying on the altar of performance. See, it's time to kind of dismantle that superwoman myth, right? And reclaim it with what it was meant to lead with peace and purpose and power. And let me be honest. You all know that I've led in the military and I've led in corporate America and mentored and coached and trained leaders in other industries. And I've also shared about my seasons where I was crushing it publicly and collapsing privately. And I didn't know how to stop. Because, see, I created stillness with laziness. And I confused God's calling with people's expectations. And I remember standing in front of a room giving a keynote speech, smiling and pouring out, and then going back into my hotel room and sitting on the edge of the bed, bawling my eyes out. And it wasn't because I wasn't grateful for what he blessed me with, but because I was empty. I was performing and not leading from grace, but trying to prove my worth. And God met me right there and he whispered, "Daughter, I called you to lead, not bleed for validation." Galatians 5:1 says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let ourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." And that slavery is of approval addiction. And let's just call it what it is. Always saying yes to stay liked. That's not grace. That's fear. Doing more than what we're asked because we don't want to look weak. That's not leadership. That's bondage. And taking on everyone's burdens and never resting, that's not noble. That's unsustainable, right? Superwoman is not our standard. Obedient woman is. Matthew 11:28. "Come to me for all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." You cannot pour from an empty soul, and you cannot lead from a place of depletion. And here's the truth. You are not responsible for holding up everything, but you are responsible for staying rooted in the one who does. Here's what I want you to do this week. This is your action step, so to speak. Write this in your journal. I am leading from grace or providing my worth. Then ask yourself, what I am doing out of pressure or purpose? Why am I overcommitted just to be seen? Where is God asking me to rest and to reset? And then pray, God, help me lead from overflow, not overwork. And remind me that I do not have to prove what you've already approved. If this message hit home, pause right now and write those words down. Because healing starts with honesty. You are not a superwoman. And guess what? God never asked you to be. He asked you to be faithful, rooted, obedient, and whole. So if you're going to rise from rest. And if you're going to lead from love, not lack. Because if you're ready to lead, we want you to lead from grace and stop performing for more and start becoming. And sis, I'm so glad you're here.